So I've noticed BioWare's and EA's Anthem has gotten a lot of heat recently. I mean, just look at all the reviews, all over YouTube, Metacritic, or whatever site you're looking at, i.e. Twitch. It seems people either say the game is great and has no problems and the problems will be fixed later, or the game is absolute trash and has no merit whatsoever. You can never really tell if people are on a bandwagon or being sheepish, just following popular opinion, or just ignoring actual problems that the game has, which it has a lot of. Let's make this clear. The game is riddled with problems, but I still feel like the game still has something about it that's actually good. I at least want to make it clear that there is good content in the game, but there's an equal amount, an even greater amount, of things that make the game not good. For example, there's just so much there's so many things going on with this game. I'm sure you've heard. So if you're looking to get the game, or if you're looking to even continue the game, I'm just gonna try and share my experience, my consumer perspective on Anthem from one consumer to another, the good, the bad, and the ugly, which is pretty much still the bad, of Anthem. Thankfully, starting with the good, let's get one thing out of the way. The game is aesthetically beautiful. And I don't just mean visually, the audio in this game is great. If you listen, from transition to transition, air to water, ground to earth, air to ground, water to ground to earth, you can feel and hear your javelin travel through the air and water, and you can hear the sound ripples off of your javelin's mechanical suit. In this game, not only does the visual appeal feel astonishing, and the world actually seems very interesting, seeing all these creatures and they're not just your average hobgoblin and watchscoppers that walk around. These are some actual new and unique creatures that have some appeal and fit in this world. They all make their own unique sounds and noises. And one of the great things about this game, aside from the aesthetic appeal, is the combat. Anthem's combat is actually really great and awesome. I adore Anthem's combat just because it works, and it's something new. Not just gunplay, from transitioning from ground to air, using your gun, works a lot well, and it works a lot well. It works really well, and it works frequently. As someone who plays as the Colossus, that's the tank class. He's bigger, beefier, moving, actually makes me feel like I have weight to my character. So I'll weigh more, and it'll be a lot longer for me to move and travel, just in a couple of fragments of seconds, but I can notice it. The animation and the design is on point. Now moving on to actual gunplay for the game. Gunplay and gameplay is different. It's decent. Using your guns, the only thing that makes them feel actually unique is just shooting them in the air and transitioning from ground to air. But the real thing that makes Anthem really great is its combo system. It revolves around this unique system where you have a primer and a detonator. Each javelin can decide to bring two out into a field or a dungeon, on free play, quick play, wherever you go, even in strongholds, and these combos actually work on all mobs, including bosses. Boss mobs are getting affected by your combos as well. You can apply status effects throughout the game. There are 4 different types of elements that have these status effects. Fire, having a dot damage, ice freezing, electric, poison, they're in there and they work. And it depends on your class, your play style. You may see and may prefer different primers or detonators. Primers are, of course, the elements, and detonators may be like an explosive round that you'll shoot out of your arm, or a laser rifle that you'll throw from your back, or some type of detonation tool. It'll say in the description that it's going to detonate a primer. And once you detonate the primer or the combo, or it'll spark a combo, and it'll affect anything in that AoE. That's why it's great to use your primers on waves of monsters. That way when they come out, you can time them with your teammates. teammates and communication just works perfectly in this game. If you have a group of teams or a group of friends or players with you in your dungeon run, your run will go successful and actually work pretty well. You need to synergize all 4 of the classes. This actually feels like one of those games where everyone actually just can't go the same class and just be lucky with it. This feels like one of those games where you're going to need someone on each role because it's the most useful. It's no different from playing any other game or any other MMO and everyone's playing the classes that they like the most. You're going to always want to use communication and talk to your teammates in the game because that's how you set up your combos and primers the best. You could always switch up your combos to have 2 primers, which are 2. You might want to go in with double ice or double lightning or poison and poison and lightning. If you proc the poison on them and then proc the lightning, it'll actually make the lightning do more damage. It's up to you how you set your combos up. You can go in with any skill set that you want in the game, which is one of the great revealing things about the game that makes the combat actually really interesting. But unfortunately, that is it that Anthem actually has. The only great thing it has is the combat. Everything else is a huge but. Anthem, while I guess still on the topic of combat, you're going to want to set up primers and combos with your teammates, but you don't really get a chance to test them out in the real world. You could arguably go out into quick play, but if you just cast them out immediately and you know that you aren't going to want to use those skills, then you're going to want to go back into the real world and switch them out. It's not like you can, switch them out live with your inventory. No, you cannot. There's too many slice of life things that ruin this game because it's just broken. All over the place, the game's just broken. And honestly, I want to say that there's going to be another section called The Ugly, but this game is so fucked that the bad and the ugly are literally just one thing. And I'll get on to what makes this game disgusting, but the bad things around this game revolve around you not being able to play the game. Could be any number of bugs that prevent you from proceeding in the story, completing a mission, not being able to load a mission, getting into a loading screen and not being able to finish the loading screen, which there are too many of. You can't even see your stats of your characters. The only numerical stat that you can actually see after you've done it is the damage stat. After you shot someone, that's how you see how much damage you're doing. I don't know how much health I have. I don't know how much shielding I have. I don't know how much elemental damage I have on me. It's all invisible. I don't know what my stats are supposed to look like. I've even seen concept art of people doing a better UI than the game actually has in the game. And that's baffling to me. That someone can come up with, I don't know, basic MMO stat menus that a AAA company can't even dish out. This is ridiculous. Like, honestly, the game wasn't even all that hyped. The game wasn't even hyped. There was no content to get hyped about. It's just a new IP. This is just supposed to be a refresher for EA. I was hoping, we were all really hoping that this was going to be something great and new to play, but there's so much stuff that people are learning and finding out about this game and the company with the game that there's no real reason to want to continue to play the game. Almost everywhere you look, you'll see someone either complaining, writing a bad review, or experiencing some type of confabulation with the world of Anthem. I bet you didn't know, but late game in the Anthem, which you can get within a week. I don't know what MMO you've ever played that you can get into late game within a week. Max level is level 30. I've played for 18 hours and I've gotten to level 18. I recently did an extra 2 hours. Now I'm level 21. But that's from aside the point. Within a week, within 2 days, you can get to level 30. 2 full 24 hours of gameplay, you can get to max level 30, and be fully geared. Well, probably not fully geared. Maybe throw in an extra 5 hours of grinding. But if you played day one, you'd probably be fully geared, and you wouldn't have anything else to do. There's no more content. Actually, all the content is literally ripped out and stretched to try and meet this 10-year quota. If you want a game to last 10 years, show us something that's worth 10 years. How about those? I mean, are those apples that we can sell? I mean, is that something that we can do, Anthem? EA? BioWare? Someone listening, please? There are people who are getting banned from the game by just grinding throughout the world. Max level, or one of the harder difficulties at max level, it goes from easy, normal, hard, Grandmaster, and Grandmaster Plus 2, 3. Once you've reached Grandmaster Plus and up, or Grandmaster and up, those difficulties don't give you better loot. You'll end up getting drop rates and drops that just aren't worth it, because enemies' health just get multiplied by 10 and 20 and 30. Like it just you'll be taking forever to kill one basic minion, even with your end game loot. So people have been grinding the quote-unquote open world by just flying around and opening the chests that are just laying around in open world, which are just free for you to get. And if you do that, you're apparently exploiting. Or EA has been, or BioWare, whoever runs the game over there, has been literally banning people from banning the game for grinding in an MMO, which is kind of weird. Imagine playing any other MMO, you grind for a day and get banned for exploiting. This isn't something that you do. It's an MMO. If there's an exploit in the game, it's going to get exploited. The only way you fix that is to patch it, make it better, or fix it. Don't test your game, maybe. And that's not all. People who unfortunately got this game on console, they're launching the game on their console, PS4 specifically. People who launched the game on PS4, it's recently been noted that if you launch the game, it's going to crash your console. And if you keep launching and crashing your console is going to assume that it's being shut down improperly. And then some people's consoles are actually unrecoverable. You can't reboot up your console because you've launched Anthem. What kind of spaghetti code causes the system to shut down on itself? Even there's a tweet that says one of the own devs of Anthem had their PS4 shut down because of his own game. How do you miss this? What? Who is testing this? There was a demo, but I mean, we didn't even have time to play the game because the loading screens were too long. I had 2 hours of gameplay during the demo, and 85% of that was a loading screen, and I hardly got to play. There was no way to predict that the game was going to be this awful. And I really love the gameplay. The story's mediocre. It's okay. It's whatever. I don't care about the story. It's nice to know and learn about a new story in a game like this. The story could be one thing that keeps you playing. World of Warcraft has a story. I bet no one can explain that trash. But, an MMO has to have a story. It's at least watchable and interesting. The voice acting's done well. Everything in it is done okay. It's just like, it's not enough for me to continue to play the game, especially if you're going to get banned for grinding. People on a different console are getting their console shut down and broken just from launching the game. So as a PC player, I feel in secondary, I feel like I can't even play the game knowing that like it's not even launching properly on another system. Like with that in my conscience, I actively can't even launch this game. I have to put in for a refund. Like you owe me money. You don't actually think that this game is worth anything. What you produced in these 6 years, and I don't think 6 years is a long time to make a game. Maybe 10 years. Maybe if we gave you an extra couple of years or whatever, maybe Anthem would have been where it was supposed to be. But still, they even have a roadmap of stuff that they want to put out, and it's stretched out across the rest of the year. Fuck your 10-year plan. I want to play now. But whatever. I really wanted to say Anthem was worth to people who felt like they could actually get something out of it. I really wanted to say that. But like it feels like another Fallout 76. Like every 20 minutes, bad shit's gonna come out about it. Like, but even Fallout 76, like they didn't release anything. Nothing about that game was redeemable. This game at least has a redeemable combat, and I've always told myself, as long as an MMO has good combat, I can play it. But I don't think so anymore. I think maybe just this once, it's not all about the combat for MMOs. But that's just my consumer perspective. I don't know. I don't really trust it anymore. I was already on my last straws for EA, and I don't think I can touch this game anymore. I want to put in a refund and I want to uninstall, but at the same time, the gameplay is so fun. It really is. But we'll see. Maybe they'll patch it. Who knows? It's in my library, but I really hate launching Origin. I'm done with the company. But then again, there's nothing else to play. God damn it, Anthem. How do you flop so hard? And then turn around and then flop even harder? That's like doing a belly flop and then ricocheting and then doing another belly flop off the concrete. Like, how? But whatever. I wanted to say something redeemable when it just turned into a rant. This game is awful. Don't get it. If you're already playing it, save yourself the trouble and save the community the trouble. I think, as another consumer to you, we shouldn't play this game. We should let EA know, and BioWare, because we got to stop blaming EA for everything. I mean, who are we else supposed to blame? BioWare's the one that pushed the game out, and EA's the one that let them. So, what are we supposed to do? Just sit here and watch? And just be like, oh, they're going to fix it later. That's not good enough anymore. It's just not good enough. You don't get to put out bare minimum content and say you're going to fix the game later. Or come out with day one patches. A day one patch should be something minuscule, not something that lets you be able to continue playing the game. I feel like there's almost been patches. It's still been like the first couple of weeks. This first month of Anthem, and that's sad. That's really sad. After what everyone was expecting for this game to be, the savior for BioWare and EA, and the whole new series for people to be playing, Anthem did have potential. I'm not even gonna lie. I'm not even gonna front. But after all of these news about PS4 consoles getting destroyed after simply launching the game, Jesus, I can't even imagine the name you're dragging Sony through. You're dragging Sony's name through the mud right now. But I don't even know. I can't even talk on this anymore. Thanks for watching. Belly Button Boy is the name. Subscribing to the YouTube channel is the game. Every like in the comments and every comment in the like section is you know what? Yeah, my head hurts from this. Go ahead and drop a comment in the like bar or whatever. Thanks for watching. Belly out. Later.
Went up. Bad choice.
Sexy bad choice.
What?
What?
The fuck?
Not important. How do we
What?
fix it?
What?